Yeah. Sounds like a party, my guy. Hell yeah. I mean, I hope we're live. The last time I checked, I was still breathing. Aradia didn't like show up in the night. Jokes. Jokes. Um, I'm I'm the funniest bitch that's ever lived. Government certified. Have- I have. I'm not very good at it. Uh, I mean, technically, sometimes my body tries to not breathe, but that's because I got problems disorder. We have problems, Your Honor. We'll hold your hand. Yeah, I mean, you might still get confused about like moirails and whatnot, but like even then, I feel like the story explains it. I can't remember either, even though I just reread them because I don't know how to count, Your Honor. Yeah. And this first minifig is basically just me talking at myself, so have fun with that. Oh no. Oh no. Can they not hear me? Is that the issue? Oh, okay. So apparently y'all can't hear Jay. Well, that's backwards. You can hear me and not Jay. Whoops. Oh yeah, I just saw the thing come up for like AU bonus content pop up. I think it'd be a little weird if I watched that while being a part of it at the same time. And now I can't hear Jay. Jay, did you run away or are you trying to fix something? Oh no. That's that's not good. Like not Eh, don't mind me just dying in the corner. Why not? That sounds like a fun after school activity. Yeah, and I'm trying to move fursuit supply so I can actually get to the chair and sit upright and not be like hunched over my phones. Like, ah, yes, this is ideal posture. They like having chairs. Wait, say that in the karkat voice.
I like having chairs. I think that might be the
Yeah.
first words that people can hear of me.
The first words I can hear, chairs. Which just makes me think of like the one RP in the RP server that I'm in. For the I think the RP has since ended, but they had like a little icon of a chair on their RP, and I don't know why because I didn't read it, but it made me laugh every time I saw it. Which just makes me think of like the one.
Okay, I'm saying more words again so that hopefully I can appear in a time where I can hear the everything. Duality, thank you so much for telling us about this because, man, I just would have not noticed this was a problem for a long time.
That would have been really unfortunate. Like we get through the whole stream and no one can hear you. It's
Go.
literally just me the whole time.
I'm audible. Thank everything.
Thank Dave and Rose. Those are the only gods I care about. And June, but
June's a goodie. Okay.
we
Okay.
love June.
Speedrun of the horseshit that I was saying earlier. If you haven't read Alternate Universe by Unda before, you're going to be a little confused reading these, but you're welcome to listen because it's a free
They're
internet.
fun.
Um, if you want to read them just with the words, you have to join the Discord server. You go to the AU channel, and then you look in the pinned comments, and it's gonna be somewhere in there. You can do it. Ask for help if you need it. Um, welcome to the stream, everyone. Obviously, we've been having some technical difficulties today. Just a real sweet comedy of errors, but we are here.
We're
And
doing our best.
we're doing our best, Your Honor. Your Honor, won't you believe this is my best? I'm too sleepy to convince you otherwise.
Yes.
Okay. So, these, we'll do these and then we'll do a break and then we'll do more. It's gonna be great. we're doing the LoFi Girl music for our break because even though they don't study too terribly much, they study a decent amount, but it's not truly any school story should not just be a story about school.
Yes.
If there's any studying, we're gonna do study music, and LoFi Girl lets you use their stuff if you're not a big corporation, and we are but the teensies. So, okay, with this I think I will. Yes, I'm on the right page, and we shall open up the eyes.
Before we start, is this word indictment or indictment? I think it's indictment, but I've never seen indictment written, so I don't know.
I would guess it's indictment, but
I think it's indictment. We're going with indictment because indictment sounds like a bad joke.
it does. Okay. Great. Now we're in the void. Everyone's favorite place to be.
Oh boy, the void.
There we go. If it's spelled indictment, that looks like it should be indelightment.
Indelightment. Yep. We're starting off with dumb ways to die, yeah?
We're starting off with AU, but make it later. Nope, you're right. It's dumb ways to die.
Dumb ways to die. So many
dumb ways to die.
Yeah, you get it.
Okay.
Now I'm just imagining that music video or like the game with all the little chibi dudes replaced with chibi versions of all the
Homestuck
AU.
characters. Oh, AU,
Yes. Oh
yes.
my God.
I bet someone's done the Homestuck one, but it would be fun to make the AU one.
It would be. Listen, if I knew how to animate better, I totally fucking would.
Mood.
But right now I can only do simple animations. Please don't make me do complicated things. I'll cry.
It will be the end of everything.
Yes. Okay. We ready to start? Because this starts off with me talking to myself.
Yes, a wonderful time. I'm almost there. Thank you for checking which one we were doing. This
Listen,
is
I
part of
got
the sick
anxiety.
I've been
I
dealing
can't
with.
lie.
Is just how out of it I am, which is great for life and everything. But we're here again,
You're,
and still.
you're doing your best. Okay. We ready then? Get the show on the road?
Ready, Your Honor.
That was way too close, man. Way too fucking close.
You breathe out shakily, peering out between the trees at Sollux.
Sorry.
Sollux says, still staring at the last glimmers of light from where the angel disintegrated.
That wasn't an indictment on you. I just don't like this shit at all.
You say, and creep out to stand by his side.
So much for a break from people trying to kill us.
Your Moiro grumbles and stabs vaguely at the ground with his sword as the last of the angel's light fades.
I guess it makes sense that the other side wants us dead too.
You say unhappily.
Yeah, well, you know all of their best plays. I didn't think an actual angel would be so easy to destroy. I must have caught him off guard.
Sollux says. Bro was their most skilled angel when it came to murdering people. It's not training you ever wanted, but you don't want to die up here either. It's not as if you're gonna thank him, though. Fuck that guy.
Come on, let's get out of here before he comes back.
You tell Sollux, touching his arm. The pair of you hurry off back to the car and drive for as long as you can. It's 3 days later when the angel comes back. You two were wandering through a town. Sollux's human camouflage really needs work, but he's put enough into it that people aren't noticing him. The whole don't look here thing works very well as long as you keep a low profile. Here is an example of a not low profile. The angel rounds the corner onto the same bit of sidewalk as the pair of you, not even 6 feet away from you. He seems surprised to see you. Oh, this is exactly... Okay, I need to... is as far as he gets before Sollux runs a sword through the guy's face. It goes in diagonally, cheekbone to the bridge of his nose, and comes right out the other side. Someone screams, and you see the angel's eyes flick in the direction of that scream. He clearly realizes that humans don't survive that, even if he can, and he very unconvincingly collapses backwards, dead. More people are screaming now, so you grab your watch from inside your chest and stop time.
Low profile!
You hiss at Sollux, dragging him off.
It was a reflex! Unholy shit! That didn't even do anything to him. What kind of fucking angel is he?
Sollux shouts, hurrying after you as you hold time still.
I don't know, but we need to find out.
You mutter.
We can't ask Matuna. It'll take way too long for me to get back down there to get to him, and I'm not leaving you alone for that long.
Sollux insists. You let go of time and listen to the distant screaming and shouting. If the angel is set on not blowing his cover, then you're okay for now. He can't just get up and walk away with all those people watching. If Heaven is trying to fly under the radar, then you can use that to your advantage here.
Ask Perlos to ask Matuna.
Sollux suggests.
Not a bad idea. The guy is clearly killable or destroyable. Destructible? You did it before.
You point out and unlock the car.
It must be in his chest.
Sollux says from inside the car already, his hand drifting to his rib, to your rib. The third time is a week later. He comes out of the dark by a truck stop and gets as far as, "Don't be a before Sollux launches every sword you have at the guy. Or, well, nearly every sword.
Where's the shitty Welsh sword?
You ask Sollux as he picks up his armory from the ground.
I gave it to you.
Sollux shrugs.
You didn't. Don't tell me you lost.
You start.
Future you.
Sollux corrects himself.
Damn it, future me. Stop stealing my shit. Also, this didn't narrow down where we need to stab the guy at all. We have no new information.
You point out, waving a hand at the pile of swords.
You're alive. Quit bitching.
Sollux shoots back. The fourth time is unpleasant. Wait, the angel's voice is cut off with a wet gurgle thanks to the sword in his neck. Sollux raises his own sword again, and you see the angel finally arm himself. You freeze time and lunge for him, plunging your sword into his middle and yanking it upwards. Time catches up, and the angel chokes, staring at you before dissolving into rings and light. He pings back upwards into the sky, and you drop your sword, your hands shaking. Sollux's arms wrap around your back, his warm face presses to the side of your neck, and his tails wind around your leg.
It's somewhere between his stomach and his heart. We're getting somewhere. I've got you. I won't miss next time.
He whispers to you.
I don't want there to be a next time.
You whisper, your voice unsteady.
I'll ask Carlos about him when you're somewhere safe. Everything done. I'll get this guy.
Sollux promises. You just wanted to be done with this, to be out of hell, to be out of danger and blood and metal. You just wanted to be safe for once.
Seuss.
Sollux says, and runs his hand over your cheek. You miss the fourth time. You weren't even in the room. The fifth time, Sollux nails the dude right in the heart and one-shots him. The sixth time, Kurlas has got back to you and said that if he's this hard to kill, then he's either a throne or a seraphim. Both are very bad news. A seraphim makes more sense for combat, but if this isn't a hit, then you might be dealing with a preachy throne trying to convert you or something. Either way, thrones can and do kill, so Matuna's advice is kill him first. Sollux looks up at you from the ground after this sixth kill. It's almost like he's enjoying this.
It's the stupid look on his face. It's amazing.
Sollux grins. He is enjoying this. 7 and 8 are unusually back-to-back, one day after another in the same week. Saturday and then Sunday. On Saturday, Sollux stabs him through the chest in a Vegas back alley, and on the Sunday, Sollux launches them both off of a casino roof into a fountain. The look of surprise and almost, "Yeah, I'd stab me too," on the guy's face is something. It's not entirely as funny as Sollux seems to find it, but it's really weird. 9 is interesting.
Please read? What kind of sign is that?
Sollux says from the passenger seat.
What?
You ask.
We just passed a big handmade sign that... There!
Sollux points as you drive past a poster board sign. "This is important."
Please read. This is important. What's this supposed to be for?
Sollux wonders.
Maybe it's June playing a prank?
You say thoughtfully. You've only met her a couple of times, but she seems fun. Sollux makes an irritated noise at that, but you don't get time to address it because the next roadside sign comes into view. "Don't be afraid."
The angel. It's got to be.
Sollux gasps and presses the button to put the hood down on your car. I mean you no harm.
Oh, hell yes. That's him up ahead. I'm gonna get him from the car.
Sollux says gleefully, his tails flicking back and forth in excitement.
No way you can hit that small a target from this speed.
You say disbelievingly. You're not slowing down for this thing that's screaming obvious trap.
Oh, yeah?
Sollux retorts. You don't slow the car for the angel. Sollux throws a sword at the guy like a javelin, stabbing him right through the heart. You don't slow the car, but you do slow time down a little, enough to catch the indignant look on the angel's face as his body dissolves.
Yeah, best one yet. That made my fucking week.
Sollux cheers, dropping down into his seat again.
What do you think he's going to do next time? I can't wait.
Sollux adds eagerly, twisting around to see if the angel has returned to the same spot already. You eye the gleeful flick of Sollux's tails and raise an eyebrow as a thought starts to occur to you. You think you'll probably keep this to yourself for now. Your trip around the world starts to become a list of scenic locations for Sollux to murder an angel. Sollux skewers the angel in a Sydney opera house. He pierces him in the middle of Paris. He guts him in the Grand Canyon, and so on. There's absolutely no uncertainty left when Sollux stalks the angel onto the It's a Small World ride in Disney. You've lost count of the times you've seen your familiar end this guy, and you're not inclined to put yourself through puppet-based attraction to watch him do it again. You're gonna buy tacky t-shirts and see if you can find a clue for Sollux, since he clearly doesn't have a single one about this whole situation. A distantly yelled, "Motherfucker, no!" makes you raise an eyebrow over your novelty sunglasses, but you're still not going in there. Sollux comes back as you are admiring a scandalously too tight kids t-shirt on yourself. You can get in it, but it was definitely not designed for this. Damn if it doesn't do great things for your chest, though. The glittery details on your pecs really add to it.
You're dripping on my new shirt.
You tell Sollux, and shove a handful of candy floss in your mouth.
He shoved me in the water. Did you hear that, though? I didn't know you can make angels curse like that.
Sollux says, almost bouncing on his feet with glee.
I heard.
You sigh.
I stabbed his heart out of model building.
Sollux says gleefully.
Oh, me.
You groan. Saying, oh god, doesn't have the same ring when you're the god.
You should have been there.
Sollux grins.
I'm gonna call June.
You say, and get to your feet. Sollux looks put out by that, but he doesn't say anything.
I think I want to go talk to another god for a bit.
You add, walking towards the park exit.
What's the point in doing that?
Sollux grumbles, following along behind you. You don't answer, already shooting June a message. You need a break from this. You're trying to enjoy your only year of freedom, and even if Sollux is having a great time with this, you're pretty over it. You need to do something on your own, something to break this pattern already. Just mentioning June has put a damper on Sollux's mood, and it's even worse when you get to the next town and she responds to you. You have to tell Sollux that you're going to go hang out with June alone, and
What do you mean, alone?
Sollux demands.
I mean, without you. We're just gonna go fly and stuff, talk, hang out. If I need you, I'll summon you, but you.
You start.
I can fly. I don't even need your stupid skateboard.
Sollux protests.
Not cool, man. I gave you my ability to fly. I didn't do it so you could throw it back in my face.
You tell him flatly.
What's so special about her?
Sollux snaps.
Maybe I just want to spend time with a god who isn't trying to kill me. I just want to do my own thing for once.
You argue.
Why do I have to stay here? He might be trying to kill you. You don't know what?
Sollux looks like he might cry.
She's not. And if she was, I'd fight back and bring you to me. Just stay here. Do your own thing. Maybe that angel will show up and you can kill him again. You love that. I'm just bored of it all.
You shout back. Sollux looks hurt. He looks so hurt, and you feel awful about it. You can't be everything for him forever. You just can't. He has Aradia, and you were worried when that first started, but you're happy for him. He just needs to let you have someone else too. You're not going to make him stay here, but you really hope that he's not going to push this so hard where you'd have to.
Go on then. Don't waste time since you want this so bad.
Sollux says, his tone cold. Yep, you need a break. You need to not be doing this. Hanging out with June is nice, but you're still worried about Sollux. Worried that you messed him up by being too wrapped up with him this whole time. Are you being a good Moirail by encouraging a little space and individuality between you? Or are you being a crappy Moirail by abandoning him? Mentally, you're sure it's the first, but it sure feels like the second one. You don't summon him when you get back. It feels like it'd be a dick move to do that. Instead, you track him down the old-fashioned way. You're surprised that the hint of your rib's energy leads you to a hotel. It's not that Sollux and Iridia don't bone, but they hardly need to rent a room to do it. The alarm on your hotel room door is obvious to your eyes. Child's play compared to Bro's traps. You slip past it and eye the magic, interested to see that it would have been very loud, but otherwise harmless. There's protective spells around the place, but they all hinge on having bad intentions, which you don't. Both spells are written out in one of the human magical languages. You have a bit of a feel for them, but you can see the weird syntax that Bro's magic has coming through. It must be translated from angelic to human, same as Bro does to ATH. It must be your angel behind this. Sollux is unwell, to put it mildly. It's very obvious that he's gone out and drunk half a bar at least and is now paying the price for it. Matuna did warn you about alcohol. Bro has spiked things before, but you've always wound it out of your systems without effect by messing with time. Without you here to do that, it's clear that Sollux is really feeling it. You eyeball the room curiously. There's a chair brought closer to the bed and a trash can at its side. There's water and crackers on the bedside table, and you can see the minibar is open. You'd think that Sollux had raided it, but the small bottles of wine are sealed, but they're clear. It's water in them. All of the spirits are straight up missing, bottles and all. Someone removed the alcohol from the room. A note on the bedside table catches your attention, and you pick it up. Sollux? Sorry if that's not how you spell it. You're gonna feel really bad when you wake up. Drink this water and take these, it'll help. Hopefully, by the next time you wake up, you'll have slept most of the hangover off, but if not, don't worry, they pass eventually. Try to eat bland food, like these crackers, and don't move your head too much. I would also not recommend teleportation, bright lights, or flight anytime soon. If you could not stab me next time, that'd be great. KK. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Can we talk about how pleased I am that Karkat can make wine into water?
Right?
Like,
so
I
cute.
love that. It's adorable. I love like the reversal of that.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. Someone 70 times 1 see nature says tilde ATH is pronounced till death. That's so cute. I
oh,
knew it was a pun, but I couldn't remember. Till death. Hell
it's
yeah.
called Till Death? I didn't realize that because I don't know what the little swiggly dude is called. I've been calling it Ath this entire time.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is how sollux would pronounce coding if there was a coding language called ass. Question mark.
Ath.
I code
Now I'm just
Tholian
gonna hear
ath because I
Ath.
get so much. I don't know what else to do with it.
I get so much ass. You have no idea.
Wonderful.
Also, I hope you know that I was like gleefully flapping my hands when voicing Sonic's getting excited.
Right?
Like, look at my boy. He has such a crush and he doesn't even realize it.
He does. I love
All
how
right.
they just like Edelweiss was like Dave's smarter than Sollux again. They truly do just share the brain cell, and they share it in such different ways. Like
They do. They share the brain cell, and here's the thing. I feel like you never know who has it at any given point. Is
oh,
it Dave today? Solex? Ooh, what happened?
you can tell when you're in their internal narration, but but not always otherwise.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All
Let's
right.
do the next one.
We start with the other one. I can be the narrator for this one.
That sounds great. Everyone get ready for emotions.
Emotions. Let's see if we can make Satan cry today, shall we?
Woo!
Make
Clap if you
Satan.
believe.
I did not mean to say that in Solix's voice, but you know, it's fitting.
It's fitting.
Okay. Wow, you're a straight, what? That's probably supposed to be up, isn't it?
I think it's just like you're a clear 2 miles from wherever. You're a straight 2 miles up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. My ADHD brain was like, what?
Yeah.
You're a straight? Makes more sense now. Sorry,
Sollux has
I don't
never
know
been
how to
straight.
read. I have never been straight in my fucking life, Your Honor. Wait, I've never been straight a day in my fucking life. It's bisexuality the whole way down. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's try this again, shall we?
Sounds great.
You're a straight you're a straight 2 miles clean up from Dave's room. If you look, you can see him as a flare of magic down there. You've never had a real home. Places don't tether you, but Dave does. He's home to you. You wish you could be in there with him right now, but you can't. You're sobbing, and it only upset him. He wouldn't understand why, and you can't tell him. He'd look at you all sad and concerned. That's not what you want. All the same, it feels better to be close to him, and a straight line of sight will do that. You curl yourself up into a ball and fall. See what you did there? Dave would appreciate that. He still has that much left. Being around Dave hurts sometimes. It's like there's holes in him, but he's still your Dave. Even around everything that's happened that can't change. He doesn't know how he knows you, but his body does. When he holds you close, it's just like it ever was. He talks to you in that specific frequency that's yours alone. His clever fingers soothe a path down the back of your neck. He's still Dave, and you're still his. He no longer recalls the hows and whys of that, but he knows it in his core. You can't deny that he's happier now, not remembering what his father did to you both, not remembering what he did to get rid of him and the rest. He saved everyone and fractured himself doing it. You understand and you love him even in bits. It's love. It aches, but it's a sweet ache. You'll follow him through this life that he is carving for himself and delight that he saved the world, but is happy doing homework and going to class. That you can deal with. Karkat, though, fucking hell. You hate him and you like him so, so much. He challenged you, respected you, and you did the same back. It was pitch for you, but he blended his own thing into it, something softer and tender. He loved you once. You know he did. He told you so in words, but also in every fond look he gave you. In a way, he touched you as if you were something holy. He hated you back like you needed him to, but it was love as well. Fuck if Karkat didn't always do things his own way. When you couldn't find him, you were worried. You missed him. But there was nothing you could do after a certain point. Maybe he had lost his form and was taking ages reforming without his god around. Maybe he was dealing with, whoa. Sorry, 1 second. I accidentally tapped on words and it started highlighting shit. You still there?
Yes, I've highlighted where you were.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just gotta find where I was.
I'll highlight
Wait
more
to
now.
that. I
I see it as 21 out of 38 on the little bar.
Oh, thank you. I just had to find where it was
Yeah,
highlighted because I'm on mobile.
right.
Okay, let me try this again. I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was doing so well, and then all of a sudden, I'm just gonna start that sentence over.
Hell yeah.
When you couldn't, when you couldn't find him, you were worried. You missed him, but there was nothing you could do after a certain point. Maybe he had lost his form and was taking ages reforming without his god around. Maybe he was dealing with something else. You had no idea, but you knew he was strong and he'd been looking after himself long before you were even made. And you had your own crisis to deal with. There was a plan. Dave took you with him to his mother's old school, and you didn't know what his plan was, but it was obviously there. When you saw Karkat, you realized that this had to be it. Dave had shaped things so he would end up here with you both, just as surely as he'd shaped the world to look after the people his spell banged up. Those who were clawed back from death as the world ended and couldn't be allowed to remember that. People who knew things they shouldn't. Species who were more magically in tune to what was happening and needed a harder reset. Dave looked after them, and now he had brought Karkat to you. Only Karkat didn't remember you. He doesn't know you. He doesn't love you. Hell, he doesn't even like you. You choke out a sob. You love him, and he doesn't remember you, doesn't like you, and doesn't even hate you. You dropped your guard around him, and he burnt you with it. A shot he never would have taken before. You can't even behave right around him. He doesn't understand why you're acting like you are, but it's not as if you can say to him that he's the angel you fell in love and hate with. So him not remembering is killing you. You can't tell Dave about your heartbreak because he doesn't and can't remember. You can't make him remember. Your tongue is held for you and you're in agony. You can't even show it to him because it only upset him. The breeze swirls around you and the clouds shift to obscure the ground. Not that it blocks Dave from your sight, or Karkat for that matter. A gentle hand squeezes your shoulder. Wiping your face on your sleeves, you look around at June, floating effortlessly in the air with her hair swirling around her. Her expression is pained. She got a good deal out of this, and you got shafted. She feels guilty.
Hey,
June says softly. I can't even talk to him about it. You whine. June sighs and slides her arm around your back, her hand curling against Dave's rib in your chest.
you know he didn't mean to hurt you like this. It doesn't mean you can't go back to what you had with Karkat either. Just make him fall for you again.
June says comfortingly. Even if I could.
You start.
Did you get it?
I didn't hear the you
Oh,
start, sorry.
I didn't say it. My bad. My eyes glanced right over it. Even if I could, you start.
You can.
She interrupts. Even if I could, that's creepy. I know so much about him, and he doesn't want to know anything about me. Forcing things to go back to how they were, it's fucked up. We're not playing the same game. You go on.
I'm always surprised at how honorable you are.
June muses. You shoot fire at her. You know better than to go for lightning. It's not like anything you do will really hurt her. Maybe on a really good day for you, there's a chance you could kill her if you got lucky and were trying exceptionally hard. But you're not a god, and she's a goddess. A minor one, but still in a league above you for sure. You get your point across, though. June snuffs the fire out and mends her clothes thoughtlessly. She floats above you and looks at you upside down.
We watched this movie with Karkat, 51st Dates.
June begins. Who made it? You ask.
I don't know. Adam Sandler was in it?
She says with a frown. Definitely from my side, then. You nod.
Shut up, Dick Breath. the point is the point is that the movie was about this girl who had memory loss. Each day, her memories would start over, and she wouldn't remember the day before, and Adam Sandler's character had to romance her every single day.
June explains. You consider this for a moment. That's creepy as fuck and sounds like my own personal nightmare hell. You inform her flatly.
Well, Karkat thought it was romantic.
June says petulantly,
Yeah.
I can speak today. Wow, words, what are they?
Strange little squiggles on a page.
How dare our ancestors invent words?
How dare?
Arcad is a romantic. He could find romance in anything. You snap, except you now, apparently.
Maybe you should try.
Oh, motherfuck, I did it again.
I'll highlight what I just said and down in a big swath for fun. Better seeing.
I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
You're so good. It's not your fault. I mean, it's not your fault that the words escape you.
The
It's the
word,
technology. And also
the
just
tech.
brains.
Oh, hello. And we have a fiance break. Hello.
Fiance break.
Fiance break. My moist Brit. My moist sprit.
Well, it wasn't
They
cursed
just
until
said
you said that.
moist. Nah, my Moirail slash mate sprit, who I'm marrying because I'm fucking gay, Your Honor.
Fucking
Anyway,
gay.
understandable. Anyway, I'm on the street. I love you, Happy. Okay, sorry. We're now back to your regularly scheduled program. Maybe you should leave me alone. You snarl at her.
I'm literally the only person you can talk to about this. Come find me when you stop being such a douche about this.
June says sharply and melts into the breeze, leaving you alone again. Good job, Sollux. You go back to your room, choose not to weigh anything much, and sit on Dave's legs as he sleeps, guarding him as always. Besides, if you slept, you know just where your dreams would take you. Better you just don't. Your waking life isn't much easier. You watch as Karkat smears jam across his toast as he listens to a tale Jade is regaling him with about her island. Karkat says inquisitively to something surprising Jade said. You weren't listening to what? He sticks his finger in his mouth to get jam off. You're used to running thoughts through your brain to see if saying them will have consequences. Hey, Karkat, I've really missed your tongue. How about we reintroduce ourselves? Flags in your mind as having consequences, both because you're referring to a past he doesn't remember, and for obvious social reasons. You say nothing. You don't super need to eat, but you like to. Besides, you have extra energy if you're not just pulling it from your connection to Dave. All the same, you're lacking an appetite right now, so you just jab at your yogurt with a spoon. Yog hurt.
Hmm?
Sorry. Yeah. Is that how yogurt's spelled?
Yeah. It is. It's a weird one.
I could have sworn there was no H.
Oh, I think this might be a British versus American spelling
Yeah,
thing.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably is. Sorry, Unda, if you ever listen to this in the future, because you're probably asleep, hopefully asleep. Please be asleep. It
Eh,
is late as fuck. Um, I mean, if they're awake, whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah. Just my brain's just like the insomnia's been real lately, so
that's true. The insomnia do be real. Okay, anyway,
duality confirms
as I keep
British.
the British, can you tell that I have ADHD?
Never. What?
What?
This comes as such a
Okay,
shock to
so
me.
you jab at your yogurt with a spoon. Maybe you should just stop having breakfast with the others. But Dave likes it because it's a community thing, and he likes having people he belongs with. You boycotting would send the message that you don't like it and maybe discourage him. It's not even true. You do like it. You like these people. It's just seeing Karkat can be like stabbing yourself in the eye. It's funny. You killed him so many times. Well, divested him of his physical body, but you can never really actually kill him. Theoretically, you could have, but you didn't want to. Even in the early days, you had the sense that he didn't want to hurt Dave, and so you didn't want to kill him either. Not forever. But Dave kind of hasn't he? He took so much of the Karkat out of Karkat that you have to ask if this Karkat is really Karkat. You've thought the name Karkat too much.
Penny for your thoughts.
Rose asks curiously. Do you even have a penny on you? You ask her.
I could owe you.
Rose shrugs. Rose is a sharp, manipulative, distressingly perceptive bitch. You've always respected that about her, and typically she's nice to be around. If she's asking, she is actually interested in your thoughts. She's not one for politeness for the sake of politeness. You like her. Thinking about what makes someone someone, you tell her, theoretical enough to be allowed.
As in, what makes someone a person instead of an animal?
Rose asks, curiosity ignited. No, what makes someone that person and not someone else? How many people have you been, or are you always you? You explain.
I wonder about that.
Karkat says, and you startle. You didn't know he'd been listening.
I suppose you would. Missing your memories must make you wonder about your identity.
Rose nods.
No shit. I don't know who I was before, but I think I'm still the same person.
Karkat tells her. You hope he is. You need the person you love to not be dead. You can deal with different like Dave is, but you need him to be the same in there somewhere. Otherwise, your Karkat died.
My soul or whatever is still the same, and when I'm trying to find out what I forgot, it's my memories that I'm looking for, not someone else. I'm still me. I just wish I knew more about who I am.
Karkat sighs wistfully. Oh, the things you could tell him. Would tell him, rather. You can't actually tell him. Out of a vain hope, you start to try and feel your tongue paralyze in your mouth. I love you. You want to say it, and your jaw feels like it's locking up. You forgot me, but I can't ever forget you. You weren't supposed to forget. I didn't know you would. I didn't know his plan. I wouldn't have let him take that from you. You feel heat between your teeth, taste the threat of brimstone. You'll catch your mouth on fire if you try. Karkat is looking at you, dark eyes trained on you like he's trying to work you out. Fucking Karkat. For all that he was older than you, a goody two-shoes guardian angel who helped everyone, he was always blinded by his optimism. He knew well enough how people could be, but he always hoped if he did the right thing, it would all turn out all right. It made him oblivious at times, weak, stupid, and reckless. It's what drove him to seek you and Dave out in the first place. So fucking dumb. But irritatingly enough, he could also be distressingly smart, empathetic instead of just pathetic like you'd thought angels were. He could be sharp and intuitive, and it always happened at the very worst moments for you. He'd always have your number at the very worst time.
Are you okay?
Karkat asks warily. You want to tear his throat out with your teeth and then cry for a million years. Are you okay? No, you aren't. I wasn't talking to you. You tell him. True statement. Not an answer to what he asked, but not forbidden information either. Nor an answer that would let him get leverage under this shell you're desperately trying to keep up around the things you can't say to him. You know, Karkat, once he starts getting a hint of what you know, he'll push and be obnoxiously smart doing it. You can't let that happen. Dave did what he did for a reason. Karkat's memories were taken for a reason. You don't know that reason. Dave can't tell you, but you have to trust him. Dave made you. You're the same. You have more faith in him than anyone has ever had in any god. And yet, you want Karkat back. You want him to know the truth. You can't tell him, but he's smart. You could leave enough of an opening that he could feel the edges of the truth out and work it out for himself. You could be very sly about how you say the things he'll make you say to aid him. You're sure that if he starts to remember, it'll be like dominoes and he'll come back. But dominoes tip more dominoes. What if him getting his memory back undoes everything and literally ends the world? You can't do that to Dave or Karkat, let alone everyone who lives on this planet who doesn't deserve to die. You need him to know, and you can never let him. You're a walking contradiction, a splice of duality. At least you're on brand.
Well, you were talking about something interesting for once.
Karkat quips back right away. Your heart aches. Yeah, yeah. You mumble and get up. Karkat looks puzzled at you leaving. You ordinarily wouldn't leave in the middle of arguing with him like this. He doesn't remember, but his surprise tells you that the instinct is still there. Does it hurt him too? In a rare moment of selflessness, you hope not. He doesn't deserve this hell.
Yeah!
Yay!
Uh, so much fun with this
Okay, it looks
premise.
like yeah. Listen,
Also,
I
I
will
loved that part where
feel
you slipped into sollux in the narration. That was like great timing on that, and felt very right.
it was something I decided literally as I was reading. Like this feels like what needs to be done.
Yeah. Mm. And yes, Dr. Chalk, insomnia is real. It's kind of a thing when seasons change, especially when that season is spring. So take care of yourself.
Yeah. I also got that ends in insomnia. I know how to speak today, I swear.
We don't need to speak today. We don't got anything going on, right?
Are
Let's
you
check
eating
out.
sushi or steal a piece? If there's still some left. 1 second. We're going on a trip. There's sushi.
Nice.
Help, I'm trapped.
If you want,
Laughing at me.
we could do break now and come back. The mind fang one is pretty short, so I think we can just move it to after the break.
Oh, I was just gonna say, let me just shove a piece of sushi in my mouth.
Oh, sweet. And
Feed me sushi.
sushi. I was thinking I'd do
Can I
the
still?
narration on this one, if that's good.
You love them. Mhm. I'm gonna steal this one. Sorry, I'm stealing my fiance's sushi.
Food stealing is also a love language. My love language is
And now
you will never have fries again. They're all mine. I love killing people while they're eating. It's so much more efficient, you know?
that's just mean. At least wait until they're done eating.
Let them have their last meal? That's far too kind. Come on, get into the mindset. Ooh, salmon does sound good.
Oh,
I'm eating Soylent because I'm too tired to cook.
Soylent. Soylent Green is people.
No!
Oh, I love Soylent. I like the cafe vanilla. That one's yummy.
Nice. I'm.
Okay. Can you narrate this one? Oh,
Yeah!
wait, no, because you're voicing like everyone.
Oh, I think it's okay though. You just voiced a whole lot, and then we'll take a break, so I'll be fine.
You sure? Because I think I literally have one line in this one.
Oh my god, you're so right. Okay, your choice. I was kind of gonna do like her narrator voice being very exaggerated.
Oh, it's very short, so I'll let you narrate this one because, okay, first of all, exaggerated narration sounds beautiful, and we're here for it.
Yay. Okay. Rose fucking Lalonde, swanning in here like her mother, acting as if she's going to breeze through everything, like Roxy coasted through without even trying, and then vanished before you could beat her. Well, you can't get her, but you can get her daughter. Payback's a bitch, and so are you. Rose Lalonde deflects your attacks, one after another, but you're not going to give up, and she's weakening. Well, you're hardly testing her if you're not pushing her, are you? It's not your problem if she can't handle it, is it? Rose wavers, and you doubt she can stop you this time. Your spell forms in your hand and you launch it at her, the magic dripping malice, seeking its home until you made your point. She passed your stupid test, one of your other students says. Karkat, Rose says from behind him. Right, Karkat vantis, species unknown, but not, you note, as you observe the sizzling mark on the floor, entirely useless. If you're offering to take her place, then that's fine. Or are you protecting her? You ask lightly, already webbing something else together with one hand. She doesn't need help. She protected herself just fine. There's no need to keep pushing it, Karkat says tightly. You fling your spell at him, but it bounces off of a white glowing field around him, one that dissipates as soon as your magic has faded. You dare tell me how to run my class? If you're so desperate for a test of your own, you just had to say. You sneer and strike at him, not with a mere spell, but with a leg. Your physical harm is harder to block, and whatever petty shield he can muster won't. And yet it is stopping you. But surely it can't stop all of you, and you have so many legs to use. You try to jab around him to get to Rose. Through sheer speed, you manage to get through, but your leg doesn't make it to Miss Lalonde. A brown hand grips the end of your leg tightly. Venomous hairs have speared through his skin, but they're burning off in white fire. You can't push past him or get your leg back, and nothing should be this strong. No, Karkat whispers, his eyes white from edge to edge. You've pissed off a god before. This is the closest thing to that you've felt since that moment. Just like that time you are realizing how badly you've fucked up, right after the point where it's too late.
Karkat.
The demon across the room hisses at him. What are you? You choke out, staring at the useless-looking student who can clearly kill you with no effort at all. Angry, Karkat says, ever so quietly. The demon makes a slightly strangled noise from across the room. Why could that be?
So it's just like, oh no, that's hot.
We are not going to
You
talk. Oops, sorry, what?
Sorry, I said you can't change my mind. That's why you made the strangled noise.
We're not going to talk about what I am, and you're going to forget about it. And you're definitely not going to abuse the power you have over your students, are you? Karkat asks. He blinks and his eyes are normal again, but the grip holding you in place is still very much there. The last time you fucked around against powers that outranked you, you ended up with significantly more limbs. You're not keen to do that again. This thing can't be a god, but he's clearly... Well, actually, no. It's not your business, and you're not going to get involved. Fine. You've made your point. You nod, trying to keep your voice even. Yeah. See how that works, Karkat says, and shoves your leg back. You skitter backwards away from him and stare, watching as he looks at Rose apologetically. I'm sorry, you completely had that, and she went too far. She didn't need to do that. Karkat apologizes meekly, shaking his hand clean in the air with a burst of white fire. Don't worry about it. I didn't know you could do that, Rose says weakly and gives you a wary look. Her little bodyguard eyes you suspiciously as well, and you loathe her all the more for also having some kind of advantage that'll see her through her studies just like her fucking mother. Come on, let's get you a drink or something, Karkat says lightly and steers her out of your classroom. Fucking Lalonde!
Yeah, like I said, I had one line in that whole thing, but
Yeah.
like that was worth listening to you just beautiful.
I read through that one and I was like, gosh, that's gonna be so much fun.
Hey, it works out.
Works out. Alrighty. We're gonna go on pause and hopefully the sound will work for that as well. But we'll see. We'll be back in how's 15 sound, Satan? Or do you more or less how you feel?
15 sounds good. I'm gonna grab a snack, run to the bathroom, make sure my phone's charged, all that good shit.
Stellar. And we're gonna round up the 15, so it's gonna be like 35, you know? I'm not gonna do streams are not for math. We've already established that. We are not the math people of this group.
Okay, so how long is the break?
15. Come back at 35.
15, okay. Oh, okay. Yes. I thought you were like rounding 15 up to 35.
Oh my
Like,
God.
wow, that's a big. Okay. I'm gonna let you go. Call back when break's over.
Sounds great. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, bud. Adios.
Adios.
Hello.
Hello!
I am back
We are back.
with
Back in the
tea.
armed and ready with tea. I will say a cute thing about this, the LoFi album I've picked first is Morning Coffee, because in AU, Karkat really does like his coffee, but in 22 seconds later, it's like a big thing.
Yes.
so,
This man straight up drinks coffee directly out of the pot.
so look forward to hearing it more. We have.
It's fitting. Yes, I do believe so.
I think this is the big one. So let's take turns on narration so we don't die.
Probably a good idea. You want to start or shall I?
um, I'll go ahead and start narration. Let's get going.
All right. Let me know when you need me to swap in.
Aye aye.
Oh, have you upgraded to being a solar panel now?
Sollux teases as he appears in the library. You're face down on the floor with your wings spread out, catching the sunlight, and you were incredibly comfortable until you were interrupted. Thanks. Jealous, you mumble against the floor.
That everything I do is cool? Yeah, you are.
Sollux retorts and wanders closer. Mm-hmm. I definitely believe you. You tell him without even opening your eyes.
So, wait. Oh, I didn't do the list. How could I? So, how's it going?
Sollux asks after a second or two. Well, probably two. You stretch and sit up so you can look at him better where he's leaning against the wall by the window. The book or the dinner, you ask?
I meant you, but sure. Those things too.
Sollux laughs. Oh, Rose is losing her shit about publishing dates and peer review and all of that, like they're not going to publish her work. As for the midsummer dinner, that has to be perfect so that she can help Jade make a better impression on her summer-aligned relatives. That is also going incredibly stressfully. So, sorry I've not been messaging you back or anything. I've had my hands full with her. You groan.
And she kicked you out into here?
Sollux guesses and you nod. Apparently, you helping became more stressful than not helping, so you got sent away. Honestly, you'd been enjoying the quiet moment, but now that Sollux is here and the inevitable Dave who must be close by, you can guess that peaceful isn't going to be happening anytime soon.
Holy shit, she's pissed.
Dave announces loudly as he walks into the room. Yeah, I'm sure that didn't make it worse, you grumble.
He's been sent to sit in here and think about what he did.
Hang on. Thank you so much, Doc Chuck. I switched tabs, but I didn't let everybody see the tabs.
Oh
We're
no, what
back.
happened?
Sorry, here's the visuals. We've just been reading. Enjoy the sounds.
Oh, enjoy the sounds of our beautiful, lustrous voices.
Melodious.
Melodious voices.
He's been sent to. Okay. Can you do Soul's line again just so we have tone?
Oh yeah, of course. He's been sent to sit in here and think about what he did.
Sollux tells Dave gleefully. That is not what I said, you snap, but he's not entirely wrong. Not that he can be allowed to think that. It's not like you've been away from Dave and Sollux for all that long, but you've missed them all the same. Sometimes it's like that. Dave and Rose live obviously separate lives, so you can't always be all together like you could when you were all students. Not that it's hard finding each other with how fast you can fly and how Sollux can teleport, but it's still hard sometimes. Thankfully, you guess, you have forever. or at least a really, really long time. It's always, oop, it's always easy
Do
to
you
get
want me to
back to.
drop in?
Oh yeah, actually.
It's always easy to get back to them. Not just with them, but all of your friends. You can sit down with any of them, and even if it's been months and months since you've seen them in person, it's like you can just instantly pick things back up. It's odd though, this aging thing. It's not happened to you in Sollux, or it did to a point. Both of you look a little more like actual adults in your 20s rather than people who have just reached adulthood. Kanaya remains as unaging as she always been, and Jade has stayed put even though she looks more and more fey these days. Roxy and Terezi are the same as when you got back from hell, but Rose, Dave, and June, not so much. It's not as if they're old. They just passed 50 last year, and Dave barely cared about the milestone at all. Mainly, you think that's because he's looking forward to throwing himself a massively tacky and inappropriate 69th birthday. But it still gets jarring when you see them against people who should be the same age. Rose doesn't enjoy it like Dave does. At least in academia, she's rightfully respected. But random people treat her some like invisible late middle aged woman, and it's still illegal to wildly curse people for being rude, even if you have a very good dragon lawyer. You drop out of conversation as you feel a slight tugging on your soul. Rose can still summon you, even if that's all you can do, but that was still mild enough that it's not even the polite request that she normally gives you. What? Dave asks, since you just stopped talking partway through your sentence.
Rose, I think. Hold that thought, I'll be back.
You tell him and get up from the library sofa. You wander into the kitchen and see Rose there with her sleeves pushed up and fanning herself with one hand. All the windows around the kitchen are wide open, like she was trying to let smoke out or something, but you can't smell anything burning.
You called?
You say.
What? No.
Rose says as she looks at you.
Oh, I thought I felt you. Can I at least help since I'm here?
You ask. I'm trying to drink my tea while you're speaking and I keep fogging up my glasses.
The joy of
Like,
glasses.
sip, 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 oh shit. The joy of glasses. Well, wearing a mask is a time,
Oh, yes. I just accept the
but
fog.
accept my fate.
I'm a child of the fog now. Let it take me. um, sorry. Um, can you check the dates on everything over there? I just have this feeling that something is wrong and it's driving me crazy. It's not the weather. I've checked the forecast over and over. Besides, we're having summer here. It's not like weather will be a problem.
Rose mutters and goes back to something complex looking involving scales.
Sure.
You say quietly. Rose is sweating even though the breeze outside is pleasantly fresh. The dates on all the food are fine, so Rose sends you to rearrange the seating outside and set places for everyone. Every time you see her, she just looks even more stressed.
Can you get in my bag? I have pastry hands.
Rose says by way of explanation. She holds her fingers out of the bowl, and sure enough, she's pretty coated in flour and forming pastry.
Sure.
You go fetch her bag and bring it back.
There's a medicine box in there. Can you get me an antacid or something out of there? I don't care what exactly. I've got awful heartburn.
She says as she kneads the dough around in the bowl a little more.
It's probably stress. It's not like I've seen you eat anything all day.
You point out, but get what she wants anyway.
I'm not hungry. I feel sick with stress. But yes, telling me to be less stressed certainly helps.
Rose says sharply. You hold out the medication she asked for, and rather than touch it with her buttery hands, she just bites it right out of your fingers and swallows it dry.
Feral.
The
Also,
image of
one of the most
50-year-old
impressive
Rose.
headcanons to ever have about Rose Lalonde, in my opinion. uh,
What
or
impressive headcanon?
just medicine dry. I could never. I would explode. I would.
Oh, yeah. That's her true superpower,
Yeah.
taking medicine dry.
Listen, the deity thing I understand. The pills thing? Whoa.
My partner does it all the time, and I have to
What?
smack them.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad that mortal people can do it, not just fictional mortal
Yeah,
people.
like, I have water. You can borrow my water. I'm staring menacingly at you. They said, "What you gonna do? You can't stop me. You're asleep when I do it,
Nice.
motherfucker. I
Well,
know where you're asleep." They said, "Yeah, right next to you, bitch."
if you didn't know by now, it would be a little concerning.
Yeah, if I didn't know where they slept.
When the lights
I
go
love
off,
you.
my wife disappears. I don't know how.
The lights go off. My wife disappears. Yep, that's how it works. The
I,
lights go off. It's like, where'd my fiance
I
go?
can't see them anymore, so clearly they must not be in the room.
The object permanence of a kitten.
yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Program. um. Okay. All right. I'm going before you bite me again. Call me if you need me. You tell her. You're sorry. Do you want to swap narration? I just kind of went for it there.
Sure,
So
sure,
cool.
because my brain is a break.
I'm so coordinated today. You tell her and retreat to the library again.
Is it safe to come out yet?
Dave calls to you as you walk through the door. Even Roxy is in there now. I wouldn't. You warn them and go sit down again. You take it on yourself to let people into the house when they arrive and then herd them safely past Rose and into the library. But every so often, you still get that quiet jerk on your soul that pulls you back to Rose, even though she insists every time that she didn't do anything. You eventually give up and just stay with her until whatever this is passes. What else needs doing? You ask as Rose fills a glass with ice and water, about 50-50. I don't. Something, I'm sure. I feel awful, Rose says, pressing her glass to her temple. We can cancel. You pause at the glare that Rose gives you. You could let someone else finish this and go have a rest. Maybe you caught something. No, I'm certain something is going wrong. Can't you feel it? Like this impending something? Rose insists. She seems so certain of it, but, well, she's had no real seer powers since the trial. Not beyond normal human intuition or very specific spells. Telling her there's no way that she's sensing something doesn't seem like a good move either. Are you still feeling sick? You ask, sidestepping that whole thing. Rose nods and crunches through a whole ice cube. Leaning over the counter, you feel her forehead, and she's not especially hot, just sweaty. One of the warding spells on the house flashes, and Rose jumps. That'll be the summer group. Oh shit! Rose gasps and scrambles for the food that she's got waiting on the sides. I'll go greet them. Get Jade to come with. You tell Rose, gently, and slip away. It's nice to see the Summer Fae. You're not too familiar with them, but you have met their queen in passing. It's, well, their princess that you are more familiar with. Karkat, Mrs. Paint beams at you. Miss Paint beams at you and kisses your cheek as she guides you over the threshold to Roxy's property, even though you should have been doing that. Hey, boss, you grin at her. You've not worked for her for a few years because of Rose's book, but you're still on staff. What can you say? You like your coworkers, and the library still likes you back. Miss Paint's mother stands quietly nearby, her skin blinding white from midsummer sun that strikes her at all angles. Her eyes are completely black, and her dress is pastel, simple, and even ripped, but it still looks regal? You don't know. Face shit is bonkers, and you still stand by that. Rose has all sorts of good stuff cooking, but she's kind of stressed right now, so you know. You say quietly to Miss Paint. Oh, she shouldn't have gone to any trouble, Miss Paint assures you. I wouldn't say that to her, but, where's your worse half? I thought the three of you were coming, you ask. Spade's Slick is nowhere to be found. A work thing, he said, but he did say he'd try to get here if he could. He didn't really elaborate, and I didn't ask, she shrugs. You don't really know what to say to that, so you just steer them towards the house and let Jade do all the political nice with the whole winter and summer thing. You are the best facilitator for diplomatic bullshit. It is you. Rose is still stressed out, but you do your part with ferrying food over to the table, and for more delicate things, Sollux teleports them away, so they move as little as possible. You don't know why it matters that the decorative food things are just so, but you're picking your battles here. Can we swap?
Sure. Rose is breathless as she scrambles for this and that, hurrying around as fast as humanly possible. Everyone is already sat down, waiting or more likely enjoying their meal already, and Rose is still trying to find God knows what.
Rose, come on,
You try.
No, just let me find this.
Rose insists as she scrabbles through the cup.
Rose.
You freeze when the door knocks. You're about to say that you'll get it when you realize that everyone is outside. No one would come around to knock on the door again, and anyone new would be stopped at the property line and you'd be alerted. No alert went off on any ward around the house at all. You stare at Rose, who's clearly thinking just what you are, breathing quickly and fast and clearly trying to call to mind whatever spell she can think of.
Stay here. I'll go.
You whisper to her. Rose nods, shaking slightly. You step back and let your wings flare out and grab your weapon as you stalk quietly to the door. You open the door quietly and stare.
Hi, I brought cupcakes. I think that's right.
Radia is so cute.
I'm trying to match like her ghostliness with her more energy.
Please, it's so cute. Aradia says pleasantly. She's holding a silver platter with black cupcakes on them. They have tiny sugar paper printed skulls on them, which are sliding off a little as the icing is just a little bit too runny. Like she made them herself.
Aww. Aradia.
I love her so much.
Aradia, what are you... Did Sollux invite you and not tell me just to fuck with me?
You ask. That's probably what's happened here. Fucking Sullux. He's a menace to everyone, but specifically you. You shift back to normal and step out of the way so she can come inside.
Let's go outside, yeah?
Aradia smiles.
Yeah.
Rose says quietly behind you. She'd obviously left the kitchen and can see who it is.
We've got enough food and an extra chair for you, actually. Come on.
You tell Aradia and lead the way outside. Sullux drops his fork when he sees Aradia, like he was surprised or something.
Thanks for not telling me.
You hiss at him, taking your seat next to him with Rose sitting down at your left. Opposite you, Aradia sits down next to Miss Paint as everyone around the table stares at her.
Oh, I didn't think of the Queen's... Wayward, this is Pars PM, this is... I always think of them in it doesn't really matter. Miss Death,
The Summer Queen says uneasily.
Oh, it's not. She and Sollux are together.
You say quickly, wanting to dispel the understandable fear at death herself just showing up to your party. I didn't invite her. Who? It's not like there's anything we could do about it. Hey, who are you here for? Sollux asks quietly.
You didn't.
If she wasn't invited then, she's here on business.
I did bring cupcakes, but this is business too. For gods, it's kind of expected that I make an appearance personally.
Aradia explains and casually pulls a full-on, entirely stereotypical scythe out of thin air. The Fae Queens count as gods. Arguably, their direct descendants do as well. Roxy is the holder of the godhood of hell, even if it's just in the figurehead role she has now. Then there's June and Dave, and Rose squeezes your hand under the table. Her hand is clammy and her fingers are shaking.
As a little warning, I'd suggest that karkat stand a little more over there. It all looks so nice and everything.
Aradia says, pointing to the tree line.
You're here for Rose. No. No, you can't.
You leap to your feet, wings flaring and light gathering around you. You'll bite her if you have to. You can't stop her, Karkat. Sollux argues.
Oh, like I couldn't get you out? The fuck I can't!
You shout at him and glare at Aradia again, right after.
She's human, karkat. Dying is the thing they all do. Well, everyone does, but they're very predictably short.
Aradia explains kindly and sets a timer on the table. There's so very little sand left in this small bulb of this glass, and whatever's above that is blotted out with light too bright even for you to see. Dave pushes past you with Roxy right behind him. They turn Rose around a little so her chair's a little more comfortable for her. You can see just how hard she's breathing and how she's got one hand pressed to her chest. There's got to be some way to stop. An ambulance isn't a solution for a house that can't be found with any real ease. You could move her blood yourself by magic if you had to, but you don't know what's causing that. If it's her heart, there's a million things that could be wrong. You scramble for your own bag, and you have to have a book that has something on the situation, some way to fix this.
Karkat,
Rose gasps.
I'm going to fix this. I'll find something.
You insist. That's not how it works, Sollux tries to tell you.
Go over there.
Rose says shakily.
What? No, I have to.
You're cut off.
Go over there.
Rose snaps, her finger pointing to the tree line. It's been a long while since you tried to resist a command, not since before all this. It hurts. You refuse to move under your own free will, and whatever angelic magic your being exists under then forces you to go. You're dragged, stumbling, and eventually scraped across the dirt until you're exactly where Rose wanted you to be. You can't leave. Every muscle in your body strains as you try to get close, but you just can't. Sollux comes to you right away and sits with you. He's trying to keep you calm and stop how much this hurts, but it's not working.
She's deaf. It's not her life ending as a human and getting her powers back. She's dying. Dying for real.
You shout at him as you try to push out of the space that you're frozen in. If you try any harder, you're going to break your bone. Aradia probably has to end this mortal part and give them their godliness back after. If she was here for Rose for good, she'd be here for you too. That'd kill you as well. She'd be here for me as well then, right? She only had something for Rose, Sollux says reasonably. You barely hear because Rose slumps sideways out of her chair and into Roxy's arms, and suddenly you're ice cold, colder than winter ever was. There's no light and no heat. It's gone. She's gone. Aradia steps closer and slices cleanly through Rose. Her body is still in Roxy's arms, not breathing, not moving, nothing. Aradia looks around at the two of you and Sullux quietly says, "Oh, sit right by your ear."
You should probably be back here, sollux.
Aradia shouts. Sullux looks at you a little wide-eyed and then he's gone. You can't breathe. You're so cold, and as your whole body locks up, you topple into the dirt. Aren't there measurements for how cold you are, even though it's the middle of the day and the height of summer? Absolute zero or something? You don't know. The sky is blue and the trees are fresh and healthy. Above you, the sun hangs in the sky. You stare up at it. There's that thing, probably a name for it, where the body just can't tell between extreme temperatures. Pouring boiling water over you and liquid nitrogen feels the same. It's all just temperature pain. There's even cases of people who have been found frozen to death who have ripped off their clothes because they couldn't tell cold from heat. You're so cold, everything hurts impossibly. But as the sun burns in the sky above you, it's suddenly you don't know if you're cold or hot. When the sun opens to a giant eye, you know. You know that isn't cold you feel. For lack of a better word, what happens is you explode. The body you had was small and finite, and the form you needed, the one that was called for, is not. You are wings and feathers and so many eyes on each one, and all of you is on fire. The sun stares down at the whole world, and you can feel every light bulb, candle, every source of light is something you can see through. Not that it's you exactly. You're reflecting it. All that light coming from you is going right into Rose. You burn out in a mess of giant, scorching, all seeing feathers and finally shift down into something far smaller. You can't move because you're weighed down with all these feathers around you, and you can't get closer to Rose because you're forbidden. You squeak and flutter your wings helplessly until a gray hand delicately picks you up. I have no idea what the fuck you just were. It was like if you asked Cthulhu to draw a phoenix and then set everything on fire and added a billion extra eyes. I think you were in like 9 dimensions, Felix says with a weak little laugh. You're in his cupped hands and you think you're a hummingbird again right now. With a flutter, you're able to pull yourself up to the edges of his fingers so you can see Rose. Rose is on the ground now, with everyone giving her wide space. She's an incandescent shape of herself, but as her glow dims, she's herself again. Just like the day you first met her. Whichever first you care to name, actually. She is glowing from within, but now more like the Queen of Summer, and you sag in relief as you see her breathe in. Rose, can you fix him? Sullux calls out. Do you mind swapping in for me?
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
Rose looks around and jolts in alarm. She scrambles to her feet, and then it's as if a camera flash goes off, and she's suddenly in front of you. All four of Sollux's eyes are blinking as if she blinded him just a little there, the result being that Rose is free to take you from Sollux's hands. I'm so sorry. You can go wherever you like. I'm not ordering you to do anything. Here, Rose says. She holds her hands out, and before you can slip out of her palms, you're suddenly yourself again, with her holding her hands to your chest. Don't fucking do that to me! You shout at her, loud enough that glasses shatter in the distance. You grab her into a hug and hold her as tight as you possibly can.
Cool. Cool. You two can just make me deaf and blind. That's great for me.
Sollux bitches nearby. But you are ignoring him for now. When you let Rose go, she looks around at the woodland near you. A few of the trees have exploded, and a good number of them are on fire. in the interest of living by that Smokey the Forest cryptid motto, I love that.
Smokey the Forest cryptid.
Smokey the
I want
Forest
that on a
cryptid.
shirt.
In the interest of living by that Smokey the Forest cryptid motto, you decide to stop this forest fire. But even as you take the fire away, you can't help but notice the thousands of eyes carved into every tree.
You okay?
Dave asks warily as Rose walks you back to the table. I feel a lot better, actually. I'm very sorry to just die in the middle of dinner, Rose says awkwardly. Elder Jade. Oh, right. Well, you didn't actually damage the dinner, so I think we're all good. Queen Jade grins and plucks a bread roll from the nearby basket.
Shit. I just thought I can't wait to be out in public with you and tell people that we're twins and explain nothing.
Dave beams. Yes! That's amazing! June cackles.
You already didn't explain anything when you were the same age and looked totally different. But I guess this adds to it.
Sollux says thoughtfully. Well then, dinner. It was very nice of you to bring cupcakes as well, as I suppose an early release from the court sentence, Rose says.
Wait, does that mean I'm being punished more than Rose? That doesn't seem fair.
Dave pouts. Yeah, I've never done anything wrong in my entire life, June agrees.
Why the fuck you lie?
I'll never tell. It's very nice having Rose back as her normal self, even if normal is a lot more seeing ability and very disturbed sleep. Rose can join the insomnia gang. She's
She
also
can.
she can. She's also starting to get a lot of people praying to her. An entirely dumb way for that to start is through Kanaya. Kanaya had followed Matuna's advice when he first turned her and tried to get invested in as many gods as she could in order to assure that there'd be a really long custody case over her soul should she ever die. Only that included praying to abstract concepts too, like the idea there being that, hey, maybe she could get in on the ground with some newer god and be held in higher regard. That'd cause more problems, right? Yeah, 3 guesses to what praying to the abstract idea of wanting to know things, specifically knowledge that has to do with academia and also knowledge about interpersonal connections, does. Guess who that goes to? Fucking Kanaya had been praying to Rose before Rose even existed. For all you know, her doing that created the demand that led Rose to develop into that niche. Who can say with gods? So, whatever. She has a magical hotline to her girlfriend. Only other people catch her doing it. They overhear you and Kanaya talking about Rose when you're in the library. Before you know it, Rose is a pretty strong patron god of students with last-minute deadlines who just can't quite connect the dots in the essay they have due. New level of lesbian unlocked.
Jerome, Jerome's mind here happens to be a god. But you can bet that if Kanaya ever dies, there is going to be a super long custody, and like you're trying to take my girlfriend from me. Really, you want to play that game?
Pretty sure that we're legally god married. She can be my co-god.
We're legally married. Love that.
Mm-hmm. But sure, that's a Rose problem, right? She can get woken up by desperate mortal pleas for help with whoever's thesis at 3 a.m. Haha! Yeah. Only you're the chump who's her one and only angel. Looking out for favored mortals who your god has taken an interest in is actually in your job description. So you go and show up on her behalf just to get some grad student to stop asking. Only confirmation of faith makes that shit spread. You just want a day off? Is that too much to ask? Really? You're perfectly happy, hidden in the dark, just trying to sleep.
Why are you? You know I can see you under there. Your elbow is sticking out.
Hal says, and gently kicks with. Hal says, and kicks it gently with his foot just to prove the point. You may think you see me, but you don't. You say, half into the carpet.
Shit, you had me fooled.
Hal says, and leans down to look at you properly. The more he gets older, the more he looks like bro. Or at least until he expresses any kind of emotion. Even boredom makes him look different.
Could you give me a hand with something? You've got magic that I don't.
He asks after a moment. You should have picked a better hiding spot. What? You ask with a sigh, disturbing the dust bunnies under his bed. If anything, it had proved that Mr. Egbert still gives Hal his own space and lets him clean up, or not clean up, as the case may be.
June asked me to get something for her, and she said no other gods and no sollux.
Hal explains. Glad to know I'm that low on your list, but what is it? And where is June, anyway? You ask, and roll out from under the bed.
No idea. She was off doing a thing, meeting up with people. I've just got messages.
Hal says, and pulls you to your feet. Suspicious, but sure. I'm guessing you need a ride to wherever this is, you say. It's not unusual for you to take Hal somewhere, given that he's still not got his own wings back yet. You're still not even sure what's going to happen to him when he dies. Technically, he's still Signless's angel, but Hal's never seemed thrilled to go back to heaven, and you don't think that he really wants to be June's angel either. There's that whole problem of giving other people control. Maybe he could work something out and, you don't know, angelically freelance or something? It's not really your problem, and you're not going to pry either. Want to tradesy?
Sure, and do. In any case, Hal shows you June's messages, which has directions to a specific burial mound. More than old enough that there's only bits of bones and metal from clothes in there. Grave robbing is a little out of your comfort zone, even if it looks to be well over 1,000 years old. So you let Hal look through it for whatever June wanted.
It's a little weird she's not here for this. If she wants whatever this is so bad, then why not get it herself?
You ask suspiciously. Maybe she's being watched or needed to be somewhere else when she gets it. She told me to send it to her, so maybe time is a factor. I don't know. Hal shrugs and wrenches something from the dirt. Unlike everything else in all this dirt, the metal and houses.
Satan, could you get a little closer to your mic? You went staticky for a sec.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unlike everything else in. Wow, go away. I'm sorry. I accidentally pulled down a notification.
Yes.
Unlike everything in all this dirt, the metal that Hal just pulled free is pristine. It glimmers and what little sunlight is present on this overcast afternoon. In fact, it glimmers with more light than you'd expect in this kind of weather.
That looks magical as shit.
You observe as Hal turns the large-looking band around in his hand. A bit too big for a bracelet, but it's that sort of shape. First, maybe she's up to something with Loki. I don't really know much about this stuff. She wasn't one for letting me know much about other gods, and or just have me steal things he specifically asked for. If I don't already know what I'm looking for, then Hal trails off, and he rubs mud from the band.
I could ask Rose.
You suggest. No, just send it to her. I have to spell. Hal says it reaches in his back. Why not ask Silas, though? It's not like June's not asked him to do things for her before, and Silas isn't precious about leaving Dave. But the thing is that Silas knows more about this stuff than you do, and more than Hal. He was segregated away from everyone for so long, and you still got magical brain damage and don't remember anything you might have been taught about the artifacts of other gods. But sollux might know, and if June doesn't want him knowing, then
Real quick, Satan, you're still fairly robot-y. Do you want to, if we could restart the call real quick?
yeah. Did you catch any of that, or do I need to repeat it?
I feel like you are okay for Hal's dialogue, but that paragraph, why not ask Sollux, though, was funky. Say some words.
Domo arigato,
Whoa,
Mr. Roboto.
way better, incredibly better. Hell yeah. If you wouldn't mind, I think that most recent paragraph, at least, would be good to do again.
Okay, can do, my guy.
Thank you.
Why not? Of course. Why not ask Sollux, though? It's not like June's not asked him to do things for her before, and Sollux isn't precious about only helping Dave. But the thing is that Sollux knows more about this stuff than you do, and more than Hal. He was segregated away from everyone for so long, and you still got magical brain damage and don't remember anything you might have been taught about the artifacts of other gods. But Sollux might know. And if June doesn't want him knowing, then
This feels bad.
you say slowly. Hal shrugs and teleports the band away with a flash of light from the pre-written spell. Slowly, you put your hand into your own bag, feeling for your cards and keeping June in mind. Taking your hand out, you see three cards just stacked over each other. The Fool, unsurprising because that's something you associate with June, well, with her followers and all. The Tower, not good, not great memories with that either. Then Death,
Well, shit.
you say, and show Hal, who goes a little pale. He pulls his phone out and starts calling June right away. There's no point There's no point you trying it, but you got a better idea. Rose texts you before you can even start to message her, a habit you wish she'd stop doing in all honesty.
She'll be fine. Check the Burj Khalifa on Twitter if you want to know.
She could have just told you herself what's going on, but no, that's too simple. It says it can't connect. I'll have to redo that Hal line, but yes, but no, that's too simple. I love Karkat being like he's been Rose's angel for how long and just like complaining.
Yep.
It's beautiful. And now back to Hal's bad Texan accent.
Yeah. It makes me so happy.
This is as good as you're getting, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Um, it says it can't connect, Hal says worriedly, indicating his own phone. You search Twitter, just as Rose said. There's plenty of tweets about how the top of the tower is being repeatedly struck by lightning.
I think we just stole something from the Norse gods. Maybe something Loki hid, then gave it to June. I don't know if it pissed off Thor or Odin, but I'm pretty sure that June's getting out of her human-bound punishment early.
You sigh, turning your phone around.
Hey, if Rose gets early parole, so do I.
The breeze whispers behind you, and then in a gust of air, June is floating right between you and Hal. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love how instead of like doing something simple, like just offing herself, she's got fucking spat? I don't know. Spited?
She's
That's
got
probably correct.
machinations.
She's like, I'll just piss off the gods. Like, yeah, that's the way to go. I guess that's a way to like get around the punishment part because I feel like otherwise they'd be like, no, fuck you. We're just gonna reincarnate you now.
Yeah, I think if it was like, oh no, I killed myself really obviously, teehee. But if it's like a bunch of gods who are like, no, she has to accept this punishment. Maybe then she'll learn. And meanwhile, she's like, lol.
Oh well. I love that dearly. Anyway, you leave Hal arguing about making him complicit in that without his knowledge. June can handle that one on her own. You're a little more concerned now that Dave is going to do something really dumb. Dave does, in fact, do something really dumb, but he does that on such a regular basis, it's hardly worth noting. His kind of dumb is less deliberately baiting gods to smite him and more dumb stunts on his stupid skateboard. He doesn't seem to be in any hurry at all to stop being human. If anything, he seems to delight in old age. Stopping people half his age on the street to go on some ramble about complete nonsense, only to introduce you as his boyfriend when you show up. Then he'll slap your ass and take off on his skateboard, leaving you mortified and all the humans nearby equally confused and horrified. He has his 69th birthday party, complete with a plethora of obscene balloons, something he keeps up as a tradition every 10 years from then. His 89th, and even his 99th is just dick balloons and troublemaking old man grins. Unlike Rose, who got taken out early by her heart attack, Dave is physically and mentally healthy as can be. There's no deterioration of memory or anything. Physically, he's a little slower, maybe, not as physically strong, but still enough to skateboard around, even though he's well over 100 years old. There's a betting pool going on after Dave passes 100 on exactly what'll take him out. Rose isn't allowed to join. You abstain as well, not because Rose is telling you what'll happen, but more because you don't feel comfortable betting on how Dave's going to finally die. Rose has her bets on some old man thing,
June has her bets.
specifically that he has to be. Oh,
Sorry.
do you mind swapping it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I said. It was
Oh,
obviously incorrect, but I don't even know what I said.
you just said that like Rose had her bets, and I'm like, we just went over how Rose can't join.
I didn't even realize I said Rose. I meant June. My
Yeah,
bad, G.
you're so
But yeah,
good. This is what happens when you read words. This is why you read with a buddy. June
how
has
many
her
people does it take to read fan fiction?
as many as we want. Slash scheduling.
Several. Yes, very true.
June has her bets on some dumb old man thing, specifically that he has to be a stereotypical old person thing, like choking on prune juice or falling out of his fuzzy old man slippers. Sollux is betting that he's going to die trying to prove how not old he is, which, given how much skateboarding that includes, you think it's casting too wide of a net, but you digress. You're sat in the library, quietly repairing a book with no noise except for the shuffling of Kanaya's papers and your own work. Well, that and the clock on the wall. You don't notice it until it stops. It takes a little while for the lack of quiet ticking to register with you. You pause in your work, your eyes on the clock. It's probably just broken or needs the batteries changing or something. It's probably nothing. That's the kind of explanation that springs into your mind, but all the same, you can't shake the feeling that it's not that. You have a spell, not a teleportation as such, but more a way to get to Dave's place by opening a door. It's magic you borrowed from Spade's Slick, since he owes you several, and with Dave's old age, you don't want to be too far away and risk Sollux being unable to summon you because he's caught up like you were when Rose died. Give me a second, you say to Kanaya hurriedly, and bring the door into being on the wall and step through. Dave's apartment is suddenly before you, the floor littered as always with cables from this and that. You'd always said that if he's not careful, he'll trip on one and break his neck, so you're half expecting to see him on the floor there. Oh, hi, Karkat, Aradia says, coming into the main room from the hallway.
Oh, I love him so much.
So, he did die, you conclude. A god of time would keep me waiting, huh? Aradia laughs. Where? You ask, craning your neck around her, but you can't see Dave. Just down there. I'm sure he's up and ready to see you. Aradia giggles and vanishes into thin air. Walking through where she was, you see that the walls are a little scorched and clawed, leading towards the bathroom. As you get closer, your foot brushes a gigantic shed snakeskin. Yeah, Sollux definitely went through something with Dave dying. The bathroom door is slightly ajar and you can hear water running. Your phone charm on your wrist pings just as you nudge the door open with one hand. Dave is standing there, skin damp and towel partway around his waist. He's got one hand on his towel and his phone in the other. Sollux, it is adult anaconda-sized and wrapped around Dave's neck and shoulders. Dave looks so young. Logically, you know that this is the age he was when you met him, but you've spent more time with him older, that he looks almost odd to be this age again.
That was fast.
Dave grins, all mischief and unlined features. What was? You start to ask, and your phone charm buzzes again, reminding you of the unread message. 2 and 2 start becoming the suggestion of 4 in your mind. Did you just come back to life and immediately send me a picture of your dick? You ask him incredulously. On Dave's shoulders, Sollux rears up enough so it's very clear that he's nodding his head. Oh, Dave.
Well, it was right there, and I thought you'd want to know why I died.
Dave says cheerily. What are you talking about? You ask. He's not making any sense.
You know.
Dave casually dispels his phone back into its charm and saunters closer to you.
I was in the shower, enjoying myself, relaxing, thinking of you. Hey, getting your blood pressure up is dangerous when you're that age.
Are you... I... You stumble over words. Dave casually lifts his hand and strokes Sollux's serpentine head down his back. The movement trails red sparks, and all at once, Sollux is back in person and all at once, Sollux is back in person too, looking highly entertained at what's going on. Are you trying to tell me that you got hard thinking about me and died from it? You screech incredulously. Sorry, that wasn't a screech. My voice is dying.
You're good. I mean, this really is on you, being a drop-dead gorgeous babe and all.
Dave says with a wink. Sollux is shaking with laughter, his head pressed into Dave's shoulder as he tries to stifle the noise. What the fuck? I hate you both so much, you say, in utter disbelief. And then that was a little offer note of Unda. Okay, that done for now. They weren't done. They wrote 5 in total. I put them in chronological order for all of you. You're welcome! You're welcome!
Thank you, Jay, for my life.
You're welcome. Okay, let's swapsies on narrator, yeah?
Yeah, can do. Sorry, I've just been playing with a pincushion.
You're good. I've been using my tea as a fidget, honestly.
I've been pulling pins out of a pincushion and then arranging them in little patterns.
Cute.
Your name is Karkat, and you were enjoying a rare moment of peace. It's lovely, blissful even. Underneath you is the ever so soft rug, which is situated in the middle of Dave's living room. It's all the lovelier now that your eyes are shut and you don't have to see the horrendous patterns on it. The midsummer sun is beaming in through the wide windows, warming your skin and reflecting off every glass-paneled feather of your wing. At your side, Sullux is dozing lazily. He's not fully asleep because the tips of his tails are slowly drumming a beat against your legs, a slow tempo 1-2-1-2. He's cuddled up against your side, enjoying the warmth and peace as much as you are. You could spend eternity late, and you kind of get to, actually. Your eyes snap open at the sound of the front door. You don't move your face, but eyes open up all along your way. One of Sullux's smaller eyes opens a fraction, a tiny slit of red that closes again as he buries his face in your shoulder once more. Just Dave then. You know, you hear Dave move, go into another room. He moves again, footsteps coming closer. Figures, sunbeam snake and solar panel. Dave snorts. Solar panel. Sullux giggles into your shoulder gleefully. He's made that joke before, but not for a long time. You'd hoped that he'd forgotten it.
Fuck off. I am relaxing.
You say into the rug, refusing to move. Thought it looked unfamiliar. Dave chuckles. His footsteps sound a little light. He'd been old this morning when he left. The way he sounds now is how he does when he's younger. You open a curious eye on your wing and see that, yeah, he looks about the age he was when you first met him. Not that you care. Dave's the god of time, so that sort of thing varies. It's part of the deal. You only see him as a kid when he wakes up from a nightmare. Those are never good. He hasn't noticed you looking at him, so you get to see how fondly he looks down at you and Selma. When his fingers brush your hair, you lift your head from the comfortable yet hideous rug and pull your other wing up to make room for him. Hell yeah. Dave hisses softly and scooches in like he just won something. You shake your head fondly and settle yourself back down in the sunbeam. Dave's hand skirts over your lower back and laces with Cellux's, which is very sweet. You're thinking about how sweet they are when Dave unlaces his hand from Cellux's, causing a petulant little sound from said demon, only for Dave to quickly lower his hand and grab your ass. Mentally, you cross sweet off the list of words you're going to use right now. Sullux snickers in amusement against your shoulder, and yeah, there's another hand on the other side of your ass, and unfortunately, this one has prickly claws.
Ow.
You say firmly. The demonic hand on your butt digs those claws in a little sharper, so you smack Sullux in the head with your wing. The following scuffle sounds like someone trying to fist fight a wind chime, and you're really hoping that eventually the dumb sound of your wings will stop sounding dumb to you. Today is not that day, alas. You freeze partway through your scuffle as you suddenly know something. Sullux's face is in shades of red and orange as you stare in his direction. He knows what it's like when your god is imparting something to you. He gets it as well. What's he want? Sullux asks after a second.
It's not Rose exactly. It's her domain.
You murmur as the idea filters into your head. A disturbance in the force. Dave muses from the floor nearby.
Someone's trying to shut down Wikipedia.
You whisper in horror. Whoa, okay, there's easier ways to get smoked, but that'll do it, Dave says, raising an eyebrow. Rose isn't the only knowledge-based god who'll have an issue with this. You don't do that shit without consequences. Rose is going to go nuts. She's going to, do you want a sword? I want to see this. Sulik says gleefully. He's not big on violence, but he doesn't seem to mind Rose's "look at what you did, mortal" brand of punishment. I just took my shoes off, Dave whines.
Yeah, I have to go.
You say and get to your feet. Come on, think how much history is on there. Time, you know? Sollux reminds him. I'm comfy, Dave grumbles. Give me an hour, Dave says, suddenly also behind the sofa as he looks at you both.
Dumbest use of time powers there is. Come on, let's go before Rose turns too many people's brains inside out. God!
You snap that last word out without meaning, knowing it'll go straight to Rose so she knows you're coming. Fuck yeah, Sollux grins, and you're off.
Off to the races!
I love that one. Someone's trying to shut down Wikipedia.
Just like the sheer fucking audacity of it.
The audacity. Just that there's easier ways to get smoked, but that'll do it.
That'll do it. Well, there's your problem right there. Getting
There's your problem
smoked.
right there. You didn't try to get smoked.
um,
Why is it that I can hold this accent when I'm doing Hal, but not when I'm doing Dirt? What the fuck, man?
I mean, in fairness, all of the Hal lines were very split up in Grand Empire of HIC. Um, when you have a person like in either if you have their voice down so pat you don't have to think about it anymore, or if you have them in like good chunks where you can reestablish and like kind of ground yourself, that makes it easier. If you're doing like a one-off line, that shit usually not terribly
True.
fun.
Very, very true.
Wonderful. Alrighty, well we'll be back next week. I think probably on like Wednesday, because Tuesday would be too soon for me with this.
Understandable.
And yeah, look forward to it. We'll do more announcements in the Goose server as per usual.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Excited.
Thanks
I
for
get to
being
voice
with
the two. Oh, I'm so excited.
me. 20 seconds. I mean, all of Unda's works are fun, but like anytime I'm like working on a project, I'm always like, oh, this one.
Yes, this one. It is fun. All right. I shall talk to you later, my guy.
Talk to you later. Everybody take care of yourselves. Drink water, try to sleep.
Thank you for listening in.
Yeah. We'll see. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.